Morning guys, we are at Krispy Kreme. We've kind of had a detour and we've come to Telford Shopping Centre on our way to Ironbridge. So Trevor had an appointment up here, so we thought we would do that, and we're getting the next bus out, which is just shortly. So while we were waiting for it, we succumbed to Krispy Kreme, and I had a really nice biscoffy one. Biscoff, I think it's called. And what did you have? The brownie batter?
Yes.
Yes, we haven't got anything to show you because we ate them all already. All that remains is the empty tray. And look at this for temptation. We're sitting across from the toy shop, so we definitely want to go and get some Lego. So we just arrived in Ironbridge. It is quite sunny, but unfortunately it is also quite cold. Hopefully I'm going to be able to take you up and show you the bridge. So I don't know if you've heard of the Iron Bridge before, but it's one of the first bridges made of iron, 1779, by Abraham Darby, the third that built the bridge. So that's it just there in the background, but we are going to walk right up to it. I like Ironbridge a lot. It's a beautiful place to visit if you get the chance. My grandparents used to live here when I was younger, and actually I used to work at the Iron Museum. There's a whole series of museums here. There's 10 different museums, and the three of them that are quite close together was the Iron Museum, Ingenuity, which is built in an old engine shed and it's kind of a kids' science museum, and then there's also the Darby houses where the Darby family used to live. And that's the section of museums I used to work in. I worked there in the holidays while I was at university, and the Darby houses were flats after they were the Darby houses, and actually my grandparents and my mum lived there when they first moved down to Shropshire, to Ironbridge. So a nice little bit of history there. That was my favourite one to work in because I used to give people a tour of the house, so that was pretty good. Yeah, it's just a gorgeous town really. There's loads and loads to see. There's a whole range of museums, as I said, including Bliss Hill, which is a Victorian town, and it's where, you know, everyone's in character and it's all set back in time. And then there's all the history of the gorge, the bridge, there's a tile museum, so there's loads and loads to see. It does help if you get a nice day because most of it is outside. So a big area of contention at the moment is this rickety pavement that Trevor's standing on. It is a really good looking one with this raised iron edge, but as you can see it's not in very good condition. So what's actually happened is now the council can't afford to keep up with the pavement maintenance, so they're talking about ripping it all out and putting back the pavement that they had, I don't know when it was, in the 60s. So they tried to do the right thing with making it more in keeping with the town, but actually they just can't keep up with it. Apparently the upkeep is 300,000 a year or something like that, and there's a big controversy at the moment because some people want it to stay, even though it's not the original pavement, it's one they put in to look in keeping with the town. But other people are saying it's in just such a bad state, it's dangerous, they need to do something about it, so if that means putting in modern pavements then they should do that. So that's a big bone of contention at the moment. Looks like they're doing some repair work on the bridge at the moment. I wouldn't like to be hanging off there. We're just having our packed lunch now down by the bridge. It's really sunny actually. So Trevor's got tuna pasta and I've got the leftover meatballs from last night and this bit of bread, which have actually leaked a little bit in my bag, but I've got some tissue so we should be okay. Because those guys are working on the bridge, the footpath down there is closed, so we can't get right under the bridge, but normally you can walk just under there. I do think a little bit of the paintwork on the bridge is looking a bit tired, but they obviously are doing some work on it, and really the flooding has only just gone down, so there's not a lot they could have done before now, I don't think, for this season.
Do we do some tunnel music?
No, not necessary. I don't know if you can see just up in the background, but there's the towers from the power station, which has really recently being decommissioned, and there's also a debate whether they should keep the towers up because they're part of the landscape, or if they should take them down because it's not in use anymore and they're not a part of the landscape and they're ugly. I actually quite like them, but everyone's got a varying opinion. So we thought we'd just have a quick walk up to the woods to see if the wild garlic was out yet, and you can see it's starting to come through, but it's not quite ready yet. I did think it was a little bit early, but I think it was the Waitrose magazine, the February one, actually said pick your wild garlic now. But sometimes those magazines, they come out, you know, for the month ahead. So because it's usually late March, I think, when we come for the wild garlic. It's definitely barely even through at the moment, so it's not quite ready. You can really get a good view of the cooling towers from up here. We're just waiting for the bus back now. We're getting the 96 back to Shrewsbury, and it's actually, I think, the most beautiful bus ride that there is. The trip between Shrewsbury and Ironbridge is just gorgeous. So it's a little bit windy, it takes a little while, but if you get the opportunity, take the bus, why not? Or drive along that way. It's a really nice route through Buildwas and round by Roxter. It's great. Does it go round by Roxter?
Could do, I don't know. The Roman ruin?
Yeah. So we made it back to Shrewsbury just in time, but it is about to start raining by the looks of the sky. So I've got washing out. I really need to get home and collect my towels from the washing line before they get really wet.
We're at home now. I'm just gonna put a giant bit of pork in for pulling. So I've got a lot of herbs and spices on top there, and some apple cider vinegar and some pomegranate molasses and a couple of cloves of garlic and some parsley and spicy stuff. So that should be delicious.
We are a few hours later now. I did get the towels in, they didn't get wet, and we didn't buy any Lego. We were good because we were going down to Ironbridge. The pulled pork is still in the oven. It takes like 3.5 to 4 hours to do, so we're not having that tonight. It's kind of for a light lunch tomorrow because we're going out tomorrow afternoon. We've just had banana sandwiches for tea because we ate quite a lot today with the Krispy Kremes, and we had a big packed lunches quite late on, which was of course still a hefty lunch, so not really too hungry. Yep, that's everything for today. I'd be interested to know what you think of the Ironbridge. I haven't got a secret word for you, but how about pavement? Actually, since I've come back, I've been looking up a bit about the pavement at the Ironbridge, and apparently they are going ahead with a block paving on the 29th, so really soon. So that's probably why I'm very aware of it, because I know it's been in the news a lot recently, and I guess it's because they're going to be putting in that new pavement really soon. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Good night.